From what I see in your second book that was published in Poland, your approach to meaning differs slightly from the original approach of Viktor Frankl. Could you explain these differences a little bit, please?
Yeah, in this book, this is a newer one. In this book, the basis is still Frankl's logotherapy, but it is enlarged and it is put onto a broader basis. It is enlarged with more existential analytical thoughts and background, and it is a bit more poetic. It has more literature citations, Tolstoy, and so. And this was a great speech in the Vienna town hall with more than 1,000 participants who came to this topic, the search for meaning. And the idea was to broaden the perspective on meaning and the access to meaning, and to bring in more phenomenological aspects what we experience as being essential, what Tolstoy describes as being essential in one's life. Tolstoy is a very existential writer, and I took more references to such backgrounds.
And what is the difference between Frankl's original approach to meaning and your own approach?
The main difference is that I take all what Frankl has written. This is valuable for me and still valid, but the new development is that we are a bit more practical. So the newer understanding of meaning puts it clearly into reality. And the search of meaning must start with having a close look to what is there, even if there are things which I don't like and which I want to get rid of. Like any adversive experiences, any problem which I have. But the meaning of a problem is to deal with it. And I must first accept it. And to deal with the reality, many meaning problems arise because people do not accept what is there and then go into the fantasy, into wishes, and on that basis, meaning cannot be found. It is an error. It is a virtual meaning, but not an existentially grounded meaning. So we are, in that sense, more realistic and practical. And then the meaning, of course, must be related also with pleasure and libido and values. This was in Frankl quite well. And then the third, what we bring in, is that the meaning must not only be checked with the moral conscience, but also with what the person who I am, what I'm interested in, what I can identify with. And then the meaning becomes much more personal and is not so functional. In Frankl's understanding of meaning, many people, and I could see it in the field of logotherapy, take meaning a bit in a functional way. When something is meaningful and cognitively perceived as meaningful, like for instance, staying in the family because there are children and not getting divorced, and so it is meaningful for the children. If I can't really be myself, if I feel that this is alienating me, it is a hypothetical meaning, but not a real existential meaning. And in this we are much clearer in this book. This shows more also the limitations of meaning.
Who is it for, the second book?
The second book is on a bit higher level than the first book. This is typical for students, it's typical for people who are cultivated, educated. This is not so much on the popular level, and people who also like literature, art, philosophy, thinking. it is still very practical, but it has a broader horizon.